This is a message to Paddy, Duck and Nora in Sligo. This is Bernie Fall, yeah? Now, this is talking, Paddy, about my son Charlie and her daughter Rosie, about the runaway early hours last Saturday morning, right? I was in London at appointment on last Thursday at 10:30 in London, yeah? Friday morning came along, my son Charles was above in bed. I was up at 8 o'clock that morning, and I was lying across here on the sofa that you can see here I'm sitting on, Friday morning. When I got up, my wife was sitting here. I asked her, is Charles up in bed? She said, Charles came in there, he stood at the door, he went out the door. That was around 10 o'clock Friday morning, right? I made a phone call around to a couple of the camps, the boys were staying around a couple of camps around there, yeah? But anyway, I got a reply, Charles was going up to London, picking up a few pounds for diesel, yeah? Now, that was all right. I left it at that, right, for the diesel. But as the day rolled by, I was still investigating where was Charlie. He wasn't back, right? I sat here until 1 o'clock. That is Saturday morning, right? I went down to the camp and I met my daughter-in-law Chantel and Big Susan's daughter-in-law Sarah, which is your daughter, yeah? Now the boys was going off for diesel. I asked Sarah, did you ring Charles? Did you get through to him? His mother was worried about him, yeah? Sarah made a reply back. She got through to him 15 minutes ago, and he was put in with the shades, and he said he'd ring his mother when he was finished with the police. But anyway, there was no phone call came through. When I came back in, I went up to bed. It could be 1:30, 2 o'clock. I lay down. I came down, I checked his room at 4 o'clock. I kicked it in, the matter of fact, because he was gone too late and he never went out late, except he's with all the boys getting some of these in yet. Right, but apart anyway from that, he wasn't in the room. I came downstairs, my wife lies downstairs, and my daughter Fiona, right? I left her asleep, she was asleep, but I asked Fiona, did you hear anything about Charles, right? Charles ran away with Paddy Duck's daughter. Now, that was the first of it I heard. I left my English phone down here on top of the table. There was two or three missed calls in it. I never left my phone on at night, but for the phone I had for checking the room for time when I was getting up in the morning. When I came down, I had 2 or 3 missed calls in that. I went back up and I got my Irish phone there, and for the Irish number, and I rung it, and I got through. Say, who's this? Right, I thought it might be Paddy Duck. This is the Gardaí from Sligo, right? Now, I asked her what was wrong. Have you got son, say I had 9, yeah? Have you got a son Charles yet? He ran away, he kidnapped Paddy and Nora's daughter, right? Now, it should not be my number that should have been handed to the guards in Sligo. I am here in Kent, right? And I swear to my mother that's there, I know nothing, that I am a big kid worse my poor father out in a serious accident. I didn't even know Charles had any contacts running away with her daughter. The Jaime died with the same complaint that she died with. I know nothing whatsoever about it right now. Then yesterday, Paddy, I was out here on a Canterbury, and the old phone rung with a couple of the boys with me. Was Eileen O'Driscoll, right? She's a good friend of ours, Eileen O'Driscoll. We all would go back to see her now and again. We had her over here one time per week, where all the travellers had good time for her. She asked me, who's this I was driving? Eileen and Frisket, but I pulled in and I asked her what was the problem. I thought she was ringing about my wife. Did one of your wives run away with Paddy and Nora's daughter from Sligo? I told the woman the truth. There was a wedding made 3 weeks ago, and then a few days after, the wedding was cut off, and say I know nothing about it, about Charles say running away with Paddy and Nora's daughter right now. So, I know nothing about Paddy and Nora's daughter. I told Aileen and Driscoll, say, please say, ring me anytime and ask me about my wife. Say, they don't be ringing me, Aileen, about things like that. So I know nothing about it. But anyway, I attended a funeral, Paddy, 3 weeks ago in Sligo. That was my business. I swear to my mother in Sligo. I attended Shaky Jerry's son's funeral, the Lord of Mercenham, right? That was my business that day in Sligo, right? When Charles had been there that morning, I forget who he was with, but anyway, when I was ready, my wife and my daughter Fiona went of a woman in what do you call that town? Tullamore, the woman of the crosses, to get the blessing of the cross in Tullamore. I was meeting him that night, right? When I went to the site in Sligo, Charles was in it, and he was talking to all the young fellas around the site. Right? But when I got ready to go into the motor, Charles asked Paddy Duck for the daughter, right? So anyway, the word I think was no. Paddy Duck said no. Jerry Porter landed much the same time, himself and his wife and a few of the children, and I told him I happened to want so he had with the daughter, but didn't go. But anyway, my son Patrick was with me. He was with your two young lads, Paddy, which you know, and another couple of the young lads, Blues fella, in the pub in Sligo. I asked you how would they get to the pub. I wanted to pick up Patrick to bring him home. You decided you'd show me the pub, right? Jerry Porter jumped in with you, right? If I was following you up, you stopped, right? And you sent Jerry Porter back to me, and you said, tell your man about me. He may think that I don't want to have the wedding with him. Thinking me is the young one. And if you want to go back again, the young fella could ask him again, right? We turned in the middle of the road, and we went back into the site, and the wedding was asked for again. It was no again. Well, anyway, we hit down the long anyway, and we picked up the young lads from the pub. All of them jumped into the moors. Your two fellas and my son Patrick and Plug fella, we came back to the site, right? The wedding came up again. But with it all, the wedding took off, to make the long story short, right? The wedding, everyone was happy. We all shook hands, right? Now, we decided we'd go. I had everyone in the bus, I knew. I was the last man, Paddy, if you remember, to you and Nora. I walked back into the site again. The young one wasn't in the hut when I went back in, right? Because you and Nora, I asked you before I went, was everything all right? Was everyone happy with everything, right? You said yes. Now, that was it. I met my wife, Fiona. We went on the boat, we came home. But about 2 days after, Nora got the young one. And I think she more or less, I don't know that she hid her, I won't tell the lie, but was Nora didn't want the wedding for to go ahead. The young one wasn't crying, she was in the phone, but Nora cut off the wedding, right? Then I think she put the young one on. The young one was crying in the phone, calling the wedding off. She had people told that she wanted to marry Charles, right? Now, apart from that, the day then that they ran away, your the big pub in Castlebar called the TA, the Traveller's Friend, right? Your side, Paddy, next day was full with everyone. You had a meeting in it. I know it because I had heard it with my mother. Right. Fellas that had families, when you had a family, and I had a family, they didn't want to have weddings with us. They didn't want to have weddings. They didn't want to have weddings with you. They'd come up now and they'd tell you all this. They'd answer them better to keep their noses clean out of other people's business. Right? They're going up now to the side. Look, I know they, I swear to her. I swear to my mother. And I wouldn't tell a lie to her. And my father was put into a hospital in an accident. Right? I know, and I can nominate them. And if I wanted, I could put their names in this, and you say that, yeah, you're right, Paul, the one on the side, the people that was in the side. Now, you rung me today again, Paddy, right? I was in my way into Dover, right? I told you hang on for a minute, yes. I put down up a roundabout, and there was a cover up after roundabout. I backed up, right? I got into the motor to have a chat with you, right? Me and you were chatting away. Can you get my child home? Right? Charles is only 19 years of age, and your daughter's coming up in 17. Right? There's people out there, 9 and 10 and 6 and 7, 4 and 5 year older in women. There's married people running away with young girls today all over the country. They're not the first ones to run away. They're not going to be the last. Right, but today anyway in the conversation you were asking me, would I get the young one and put her on the boat? Charles is a man of 19 years of age. Will you let me do that? And the answer would be there, but no. Right, because when your son Charlie here in Folkestone got married, ran away with my niece, what could you tell Charlie to bring Big Susan's daughter back? Who did they let her back with her own free will, everyone? Right, now don't be blaming me, which you said today, you wasn't blaming me. I asked you, right, I cursed to you, and I swear to my mother, I asked you faithfully today, I know it wasn't you about the wedding, Paddy. If I knew you were behind it, you wouldn't have stopped in the road and asked me to go back the time that Jerry Porter asked me in the road. He'd have wicking his men for this, yeah? Right. So I said to you today, I'm not blaming you. So would you tell me now who told you that they called the wedding off? First you said to me, 'twas the young one. And I said, no, oh no, 'twas Nora, you said, that didn't want the wedding. Right? Is that right, Paddy? Right. Now, this is what you're saying now. I am at the talking to Charles less than 25 minutes ago. I swear to my mother. And I swear to Mona. I told him to make a small bit of a WhatsApp to you. I swear to her. Right? And he said he was. That was about 5 o'clock. Right? And I phoned him since. And he said he wouldn't make the WhatsApp. He said because he was on to your son Charlie. And Charlie's going to the pub. Charlie said he was going to make another WhatsApp. Which I'd see Charlie after a while. And I said Charlie to make no WhatsApps. Right now. But anyway, I talked to Charlie a while ago. And I told him to bring the young one home. Right? So he said, the young one don't want to go home. Right? I swear to my mother. Right? Now to verify that, so he put me onto the young one on the phone. Right? He put me onto Rosie on the phone. I swear to my mother, and I won't take no lie for it. Or Nora. I swear to her. She told me to tell you that she's safe and well, and she's in Scotland, yeah? Now, you have no worry about her. And I swear to my mother, she said she doesn't want to go home, and she's not going home. I swear to my mother in the grave and by the house and that. She said she wasn't going home. I said, your father and mother wants you back, and if you can't go home, she said she loves Charles, Charles loves her, and they're not going, she's not going back. Now, don't be ringing my phone no more. Ring my phone anytime for a chat. Ask me about her. Don't be getting me involved in the runaway. I have nothing whatsoever got to do with. I swear on my poor mother, I didn't even know Charles was going to do that. I was happy to have the wedding with you when it took off the first time ever, right? Now, if anybody would have just said to you a while ago, it's leaving your head this side, Paddy, I'm telling you, all the different bits and pieces. Everyone out there today is rearing, they're rearing young lads, right? All young lads when they're young, they can be wild, but they take a bit of time, they can settle in. They can settle down. Now, if that sky fell out there, fall, I done it. I'd be buried under it and for me to done it. Now, just tell the people that was in the side that had to been Saturday, right? Now, to keep the nose clean, out of your business and out of mine, right? Now, you got Charles locked up, Paddy, in some part of the north, not far from Belfast. He was locked up for 2.5 hours. I swear to my mother, your daughter, Rosie, stood in that police station for that 2.5 hours. When they opened the cell to let Charles out, they asked your daughter, would they bring her out to Sligo to her father and mother? What did she want to do? Did she want to go with Charles, or did she want to go with her father and mother? And I swear to my mother, Charles told me, and I swear and my mother, that died with cancer, right? She said she wanted to go with her boyfriend, Charles, right? She went on with him. Now, they're in Jane, they're in some part of Scotland. And that's all I can tell you, Paddy. They're in some part of the high hills of Scotland, right? That's where they are. And don't be ringing me no more about them, Paddy. And don't be listening to the fellas that's living in their head that size. When you had a family like myself, nobody wanted to join you. At the end of the day, who have you weddings with? You have weddings with big shoes, you have a wedding with plugs, and this runaway, this one now. No man. Well, I can say that next now to you, Paddy, right? And if you want, if I can get the number of Charles and your daughter Rosie, if you want the number, ring my phone and I'll give you the number for them. And out from that, happy Christmas and good luck. And have a good drink over it. Good luck. Good luck.